What is up, my people? JaxB.TheRipper here. Happy V-Day, Lupercalia, or whatever the hell you celebrate. You don't celebrate it? Cool. I actually am feeling the feels. No, I'm not with anybody. I'm just feeling the feels, okay? So anyways, let's go ahead. If I sound funny, I'm still dealing with an ear infection. And I'm on antibiotics, so I feel like I'm talking underwater. So let's see how I'm going to sound once I'm done editing this. Anyways, let's go ahead and talk a little bit about Ozzy Osbourne. So he already announced his retirement. His touring days are over, so the No More Tours tour has been canceled. I know people were getting refunds and all that. He wants to stick to more like smaller kind of like, he still wants a tour, but he wants to make it more like easier to travel to. So probably I won't be surprised if it's just like going to be like one city. He'll be like, let's say London or something like that, and then he's just going to do like a big old show there, and then maybe one day he'll be in Los Angeles and do a big old show there. I won't be surprised if it's something like that. I mean, he is getting up in there. He has some issues with his spine. He had some damage done there. He had like a stem cell treatment, a few operations, and then now they're saying he has like Parkinson's disease. I could kind of see that. And he's been having trouble walking. You know, you've seen him with a cane. I know like the paparazzi caught him not too long ago with like walking with a cane out of a hospital or something, or the doctors, whatever. But yeah, but he did, you know, win 2 Grammys. I could give a fuck about the Grammys. However, I think they do a better job with metal categories or rock star categories than, let's say, fucking the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, who was inducting Missy Elliott. So yeah, I don't even think they still have the Beatles in there, right? I forgot. It's been a while since I've been keeping up to date with them. But anyways, I believe it was nominated like for like 3 different categories, and 2 out of 3 he won. One rock album for Patient Number 9, and then the other one was for Best Metal Performances, and that was with Tony Iommi. Which, not bad. I mean, yeah, I think the Grammys does a lot better job than the, what's it called, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But, you know, I'm not gonna, if I ever get into a video about that, it's hopefully a collab with Eddie Trunk, but I highly doubt that's ever gonna happen. But I have a lot to say too, and I would really have to have like packs and packs of notes for that. So, Cowboys from Hell by Pantera was on an episode of That 90s Show. If you don't know what That 90s Show is, first of all, That 70s Show was like my life as a little kid. Like, it aired when I was 10 years old and finished like, I think in 2006, like right when I was like almost done with high school. So I love that show to death. So I wasn't that thrilled when I heard about That 90s Show, because Netflix can't do sitcoms correctly. They can't. So it's on Netflix. So, and I have a lot to say about that too, but I'm not going to make this video that long. But, you know, the song was basically during a gym session where Kelso's and Jackie's son was like pumping iron or whatever, right? That's it. You don't have to watch the whole season. I just gave it to you in which one it was at. But, you know, like all the metal, what's it called, like journalists or whatever were talking about this. I was like, let me mention it. But yeah, I could say a lot of how bad the acting is. It's so bad because there were good like even like a lot of the original cast members are in there, and it just sucks because their acting got so watered down, and these kids that are in there, they're act. But thanks Netflix for adding metal stuff in there. You know, thanks for acknowledging that the metal community exists at least. Okay, so there's this super group in Seattle. It's called Who Is She? And they got kicked out for talking shit about Jeff Bezos. The arena they played at was the Climate Pledge Arena, and Amazon, who has like the naming rights to it, to the arena, I mean, heard about the performers and removed the band Who Is She? And as the Seattle Krakens like house band, the band had to say this about Bezos. Oh no, Jeff Bezos, he's such a total jerk. Shut down all the bookstores, billionaires do not work. I mean, really? You got mad over that shit? I'm like, I'm sorry, but if you're gonna be, I mean, there's a few thoughts I have on that, but I was like, that wasn't that bad. No kidding. So Jeff Young and David Ellison are working on something called Kings of Thrash. They will be covering some old Megadeth songs. They're all, you know, one of the members of Steel Panthers in there too. But anyways, they have their own little super group going on, and they're going to cover some old school Megadeth songs. You know, they asked him to Jax was staying for permission for the rights of the song, and he goes, we couldn't care less, and it's a win-win for him because all the publishing, he's getting all the money. We're making him the money, and he doesn't have to do anything. He also said that is his way of giving back to the fans because the fans have been emailing him like, are you ever going to get back with Megadeth and do like an old school reunion and blah blah blah, and you know, this is like the closest is basically he's saying with David Ellefson. There's a lot going on in Megadeth news right now. It's just, I'm not going to cover all of it, but one of them has to do with their recent artwork. They didn't pay the artist basically. His name is Brent Elliott White, and he's a freelance illustrator, and he's saying that they did not pay him or at all for like the illustration rights of the album cover, and there was no contract. And then supposedly people repping Megadeth saying there was no contract or something, and something needs to get fixed through it. And yet they're like making money off his illustration because he said something like they sell, like the artists, I mean, they start from like 60 up to like 600 with like, you know, selling band merch or something like that. I get, you know, with the cover on the illustrator's art, and obviously there's like some kind of commission or something that they pay up front. I don't know, but look, as a freelancer, like I've done freelancing and stuff, I'm trying to wonder like how did this even happen, especially if you guys worked with each other for a while. I could say a lot on this topic. I could say a lot right now, but basically when you're doing freelance work, you need to have everything in contract before you even start doing any of the artwork. Like I had to do that, like, you know, and I've learned my lessons, you know, when I was a freelance makeup artist, like, and I remember there are times I had to do little sketches and take it to them, and there's like a lot of work to put through it, lots of steps and lots of, you know, they'll be like, no, minimize this, or no, add more to this. Oh, you know what, we're not going to have time anyway, so take this out. You know, there's a lot of steps going through, so you need to get paid for the fact that they're wasting your time. Yeah, so I don't know, maybe, because sometimes what happens, oh my god, the fucking dogs, stop. A lot of the times, I think what happens, and I've seen this firsthand too, I think it's like they form a friendship with the band or the producer or whoever, and they're like, oh, they're gonna eventually pay me, I'm not gonna worry about it, I'll do it right now. No, they will take your advantages. What I've learned about managers, producers, and all that, they're not your friends, even though there's great working relationships, but that doesn't mean they're your friends, and that doesn't mean you're not replaceable. So yeah, no, good luck to this illustrator if they do go to court and all that. I do wish him the best, just because I know how this shit is, but in some ways it's like, well, how come Megadeth didn't take any responsibility and be like, no, I'm gonna pay you? Because yeah, you should, that way you can at least avoid going to court, because court is a waste of time and they will probably have to go to New York for that. Also, more Megadeth news. Marty Friedman is going to join Megadeth in the Tokyo tour that they're going to be at, because everybody knows Marty Friedman lives in Tokyo. He has a great successful career in Japan and everything. So they invited him in. He's going to, you know, collab with Kiko and all that. It's supposed to be a great thing. They're going to live stream it and everything. I'm excited for it. I'm not going to call off work and lose money just to watch it, but I'm pretty sure I will eventually find it on the internet somewhere. I mean, your queen here has to make money. They cut her hours, so yeah, no, it's like I gotta make my money. There's an ice bucket in the shape of Eddie's head. It started at $2,450. You could buy it off this seller. I'm gonna put like the link around here on the bottom. But it's by Masterworkings by Bird by Design. Yeah, I thought that was great. I mean, I think this is better than the time I covered the story about this guy who made a guitar out of his uncle's bones, because that's what he wanted. But it's just as good as that. So Hammerfest in the UK. It's sounding, when I was reading this, it sounds just like the We Were Young tour. I'm not even kidding you. Well, almost. Like more than half of the bill pulled out, and there was only like maybe 17 bands left. I believe there's supposed to be a total of 40. A lot of these bands made statements of like just injustice or shit going down that wasn't fair or wasn't being met or whatever. And a lot of these bands have pulled out months ago, but yet Hammerfest was still promoting that they were playing. This sounds like the We Were Young tour. It really does. By the way, if you went there, I'm sorry, but you're an idiot. Look, I love that type of music, but you were a fucking idiot to go. I knew that shit was a scam. I was like, this is gonna be Fyre Fest. Oh my god, that's a whole nother video I could make another time. No, we're not gonna cover that now. They said that HRH have allegedly been playing like things a little too fast and loose when it came to things like playing bands, promoting bands that either canceled months ago or falsely stating bands were committed when they weren't, or making smaller bands pay for a hotel room and for shady and other shady practices. Oh, it's giving me that. Oh my god, I even covered it on Ripper News one time. That one manager who like was doing shady things to like the women and stuff. I was like, okay. So there's a lot of statements made by a lot of bands, but I'm only going to read one of them, and it's by Promethean. Sorry if I said the name wrong. I feel like I'm saying the name wrong. For the last 24 hours, we have watched the whole HRH thing unfold, and to see so many bands pull out, although sad, it shows how important it is that the bands stand up for their rights. The music industry is tough as it is, and to see such a big untitled, and to see such a big united front actually stand up and say enough is something that Promethean agreed, and as such, we will no longer be playing HRH this weekend. We are gutted as we are prepared on an awesome set of new songs from the new album and couldn't wait to debut them and bring the metal. We salute each and every band who has stood up to the issues we have known about for so long. So this has been going on for some time, which doesn't surprise me, to tell you the truth. I've heard about how these festivals can be shady, but the fact is too, they're also not really refunding people, which, come on, even though We Were Young tour refunded the $600. I'm like, come on, man. So that's it for Ripper News. I hope you guys are having a good Valentine's Day. But yeah, anyways, cheers with my Sailor Moon cup. Make sure to take care of your vaginas and have a bonerific day.